Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Melon Man here today, and I've got a special treat. I've got someone with me today. I've got Frankie Ray with me today. She's the Jungle Girl. The Jungle Girl. She's living just outside the jungle in Costa Rica, and I've never had a chance to speak with her until today, so this is a great opportunity for me too. She started on her way to the jungle on a self-healing path. And now she's on like a longevity and health prevention path where she's trying to make sure she can live the happiest, healthiest life that she can. And she can inspire other people to live a long, happy, healthy life as well too. So she is just a being like all the rest of us, living in the lap of luxury of sunlight and health and fruits and trees and animals and loving life.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes, I am.
Yes, Frankie Ray. Can you tell us, first of all, where you came from, where you're at, and how you got there, and what you're doing there?
Absolutely. So I am from Chicago, the city, the south side of Chicago. Very full of toxins. I had to run and get out of there very quickly. Thank goodness I woke up. But my journey started with giving up meat, figuring out that so many people are coming up with cancer. My grandmother passed of cancer. I had a younger cousin, 18 years old, who died of cancer. I have a niece, a small cousin, who has like diabetes before the age of 10. So these were all very prominent things that were happening that I needed to understand. And understanding that, I wanted to understand health. Myself, I actually had a lump in my breast, and I was very young. Since I've been young, my menstrual cycles have been extremely bad, very painful, and this didn't seem normal to me. It didn't make sense. So, of course, we all do the same thing, go and run to the doctor and see what's going on. And of course, what I already knew inside was that something was wrong. You have a lump here the size of a dime. It's like, okay, great. What would you like to do? Oh, you want to test it? I wasn't into getting any surgical procedures. I didn't want to go there. I thought this was something I can do on my own. If it happened to me, it's something I can help and heal with on my own. And I just had to figure that out. So it's the web is very useful. I use the web for a lot and figured out that the most cancerous things we're eating is meat, dead flesh. So it's okay, I give up meat. That's great. No problem. That's easy. And then it's oh, well, that lump's still there. What's going on? Oh, I'm consuming dairy, which is also very cancerous and very mucus causing. So boom, I was in pain, and I'm no more dairy, I won't do it again. It's you have to listen to your body's telling you. So I'm listening to it. Okay, I feel you. And I let go of dairy. Maybe about a couple months in of doing that, I had no lump in my breast. I had so much less pain during my menstrual cycles, and it was just this is a miracle. I'm healing myself. So in doing that, I just kept reaching and kept pushing into how can I be at my utmost healthiest, what can I do? And it's okay, well, what about your environment? Some of us don't think about the water. I'm sitting in this bath, and I'm well, where does this water come from? Or how am I plugging in my phone? How's my electricity being drawn? And at this time, I'm living in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta to get a little bit warmer, which it wasn't warmer. It was warmer than Chicago, but it was still pretty chilly. So I'm okay, I need warm weather. Where's the warm weather? Where can I get some fresh water? There's chlorine in my bath, fluoride in my bath. How can I get some clean, fresh water? Is that even possible? And I'm online. I'm on the web. What can I find? And there's just hello, there's another world out there. We think when we're in our environment, this is all we have. We have to work with this, and it's just it's greener over there, So I looked into places outside of America. I looked into Honduras. That's the first place I went, and I stayed in the mountains, and I'm wow, this is fresh water that everyone deserves, a huge freshwater river that anyone can drink out of, they can bathe in, but no one no one knows. It's like no one even realizes that that's out there. So then I look into more of like, okay, well, what country truly cares about the environment and cares about nature? Who reserves nature? Like, does anyone pull energy without like drilling into, like, is there any solar energy panels out there in the countries? And I found out that Costa Rica was actually a place who you get most of their energy through like renewable sources. So like the thermal energy from volcanoes or windmills and solar panels. And I'm like, wow. And then I Google, okay, well, what's the best jungle? What's the best, like, where's the best river? Where can I see the most animals? And I found out that Costa Rica has the Corcovado National Jungle that is very reserved. They don't allow anyone in without having a tour guide. And it's one of the second largest biodiverse jungles in the world. And I'm like, I'm going there. Like, hello, like there's life there, a bunch of life. Like, I'm going there. So it's a very remote area. I found my way here. It's about 5 hours from like the nearest like big city that people fly into. And I got here and I fell in love. I was like literally placed in like the best small community with people who were foreigners that spoke English, but then also a lot of locals, the freshwater rivers, there's fruit trees everywhere. I'm like walking down the street and there's like mangoes on the ground and I'm like eating them. Like, what more can I ask for? Like, it's just like, wow, like it's just, I don't know, it was clear to me. It was clear. And it was a process, but like everything came so like, it was just like a it was my destination.
Okay. So a few things there. You were living in Chicago,
Yes,
and then you followed the sun and the warmth down to Atlanta
I did.
because you need the sun, or the sun's important to you.
Absolutely. So it's just like I saw myself as anything else. We're all one. A plant needs fresh water. It needs sunlight. I am the same. I need sunlight, adequate sunlight. I need fresh water to thrive. I need, fruit to survive. So it was just clear. Yeah.
And you followed the trail of sunlight, fresh water, and fruit to Costa Rica, and now you live on right at the foot of the jungle,
Exactly.
where you can get your fruit for free.
Exactly. Fruit for free. We think, and we're so disconnected, but it's not our fault. These things are placed to make everything more convenient. They have the stores. So you're like, oh, I can get all the fruit I want, but then you're paying for it. And you're missing that connection between you and nature. Like you get up in nature and you're like, first of all, we don't know there's like fruit seasons. Like we get all this fruit, but you don't even know that mangoes don't grow during the season or strawberries don't grow during the season, and you're like missing it. Like I go to the jungle and I can see like, wow, the fruit's coming, and you wait in anticipation, like, okay, it's coming, and then like you get the fruit and you're like, wow, like this was free. Like I didn't have to do anything but climb the tree or like use a tool to get the fruit down, and then you can have that connection with that tree and say, wow, like you provided for me. Like nature provides. We don't need like all these extra, like we don't need bottled water. Water is fresh. Like there's a river that you can literally drink from. There's a waterfall that you can actually walk to and drink straight from the waterfall. And it's been natural, like filtered naturally and not like by a man. It's just like, but we forget these things because we don't have them, we don't reach for them. And it's right there. It's right there.
Wow. So you found all these things in Costa Rica, and you have them all available to you for free.
Yes, for free.
That is amazing.
Happiness is free. You can't buy happiness,
Amazing. And then you did this within your relationship. You and your partner did this together?
Yes, thank goodness. Sometimes, we do have to do things alone. Like although we motivated each other, we were both on our individual paths. So she was having, at the same time where I was thinking about the health issues that I was going through, she was having a problem with her weight. So she was gaining a lot of weight, and she was like, well, I don't understand that very much either. I'm like, well, we both realized like it's what we're putting in our bodies that's creating these dysfunctions within our bodies. So she's handling her weight issue, and then like I was handling like my problems, and literally like she's like always kind of a step before me, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming, I'm gonna do it. And it's so nice to just have that support, you know, and we understood that we were on individual paths, so we weren't like pressuring each other, but we both had the same mission. We both had the same path. We both wanted the same things, and it made sense to us. So having that person like with me, like she was very helpful and very supportive. Like it definitely helped, but at the same time, like I said, we were still on our own individual paths. We both had our own issues that we had to handle within ourselves, but at the end of the day, we came together and we got here.
That's awesome.
So
That's
we're
awesome. I think that's really important. I think when people get, you know, their, whatever it is that motivates them, and it's often something problem with their health or their weight, and they're in a relationship and then they start pursuing optimal health for themselves. You know, sometimes a relationship can be like a burden or a challenge. Or it can hold you back, or, you know, you feel like you're obligated to the relationship. So it's hard for you to move forward because of the things that you've learned or realized yourself. Your partner may not have learned or realized themselves yet, and may still be living in the old paradigm where, you know, that thing that is actually really good and healthy for you is still considered bad or not right for you. And if your partner is living in that paradigm and then you moving into a new paradigm where, no, I don't think that that's bad for me, that can create some sort of division in your relationship, right?
Yes, absolutely. I know a lot of people like that.
And that creates strain, and that, but it, you know what? It's important, and it has to happen. And as individuals, we need to press on forward. Nevertheless, we have to meet and make ourselves our best. That is an essential thing that we must do, to love ourselves completely. And then when we love ourselves completely, we can give back to the relationship fully, right?
Yep. And that's so true, because we also had an issue with like I said, she's always been like one step ahead of me, and I'm like, I'm coming. And
That's
literally
good.
like moving here was like our last kind of shift. Moving here was like the big thing. I kind of was like, okay, I want to be prepared. I want to save some money. I want to at least be able to live for like a year, you know, without like worrying about what's going to happen. And she's like, I'm going. I need this. I need the environment around me to be just as happy as I want to be. I'm leaving. This is when I'm leaving. Are you coming? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I want this. I want this. So yes, we're going to work this out. Don't worry, you know? And like, we were kind of just going back and forth, like, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? And finally, I'm like, you know what? We can leave in November. And she's like, well, that's what I was looking for. So let's go. And I'm like,
Awesome.
oh my God. She's like, now if you were waiting another day, I would have left you. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, but that's good. That means she loves herself. So I can love her.
Good. Amazing. So now, has she lost her weight?
Oh my God, yes, she has. She's smaller than she's ever been, like, in her life. Like,
Wow.
It's so crazy. Her mom's like, oh my God, like, I didn't even think you would get that thin. Like, she lost a lot of the weight. Like I said, it wasn't until we stopped eating dairy that it really kicked in, and that she was able to like just shed pounds after pounds. And then like we're just like working out. We did a lot of like more natural exercises, so like running up the mountain, or like just taking a long walk. Like that was very helpful to like losing a lot of weight and getting more tone, you know. So she has. I'm very surprised, like, and she's still like losing a little bit, but like she's literally like lost. She was probably like 190 when she really felt like okay, and she's like my height, 5'5", so it was really like a lot of weight for her size. And now she's maybe like, okay, so it's been about 2 years. She's now like 130. So
wow,
like, so it's been good. It's been good.
Wow, amazing. So I always tell people that weight gain, which you know, people don't maybe associate weight gain with like disease or illness, but that's often like the very first stage of illness setting into your body.
Yep. not being able to break down what you're putting in. It's just all stacking up and your digestive system is not running right. You have to like get some fruit in there, cleanse that out, get that water down there, you know?
It's congestion, right? It's
Exactly.
constipation inside of our bodies, whether it's in our colon, it's in our kidney, it's in our liver,
Yeah.
it's in various organs or glands in our body. It's constipation, and it's
Yeah.
blocking our system and making our organs and glands fail. And then when we've
Exactly.
got failure of our organs and glands, then diseases manifest inside of our bodies, pain, diseases, body weight, all sorts of negative things, anxiety, depression, high
Yeah.
blood pressure, heart disease, whatever. It can manifest in any organ in the body or any
Yeah.
gland. But at the end of the day, it's basically congestion inside of the body from mucus that's built up, from toxins that are inside of our bodies, from poor food choices
Yeah.
and incorrect nutrition. And we got to get back to that live, raw food, sunlight, fresh water, and contact with our Mother Earth to
Exactly.
help ourselves heal. And then you've already touched on it. We've also got to get that love for ourselves in there.
Exactly. Yes. That's all. The full package of health, you know, pure happiness. That's exactly what it is. You need all of those things. All of those things are factors.
So pure happiness, ultimate happiness, fulfillment, it happens when we've got all the toxins out of our body, when we're getting adequate sunlight, the right water, the right food, we're staying empty long enough during our day. When we put the whole thing together, it creates a full being, a completely nourished, healthy, happy being.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing. So, someone that's actually at a very young age, Frankie Ray, how old are you?
I am 25.
Unbelievable.
I know. I think it's just a lot of
Unbelievable.
information out there, you know? And it's like once you like take your mind and truly focus on what's important, because you can get lost and distracted along the way with a lot of, you know, drama and things that aren't important. But once you really like focus in, like you can literally Google foods that make you sick in America and it will tell you. It will tell you what's making you sick, you know? It's like you have to use your resources wisely, you know? And you can learn so much like and of course your experiences, like even if you know something you must have your own experience to truly understand that, you know. So I think it's like learning something and applying that to your life that truly, you know, truly gives you that enlightenment.
So there's a couple things there. A knowing. So it's one thing to read something or hear something, but then it's another thing to actually apply it in your own life and then actually know it because you've seen it and felt it, and it's a different realization.
Exactly, like many people who may know that eating uh dead animals is like harmful to their body, but actually feeling that, so actually like listening to your body after you eat something that was dead, you know, something that you fried up, like eating that and feeling your body like how it's reacting to what you put in there, compared to like eating some fruit all day and saying wow, like I feel really energized, I don't feel tired, you know. Like actually applying that to your life is much better than just like, oh, I know meat's not good for me but I'm gonna eat it anyway. And it's just like listen to your body. Your body's trying to tell you something, having that feeling. So, and like that's another thing with like stopping eating meat. Like I feel like you have to understand both aspects. Like understand that you're doing this for your health, but also understand that you do not want to kill something. You don't need to kill anything to live. That's not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit that being, and it's not going to benefit you. Like I think it's understanding both ways is like a good way to continue on the vegan experience and lifestyle.
So do you cook any of your food?
Uh, so I am on a thing now where if I do cook, I will cook one meal a day. So I will cook one thing a day. So it'll be veggies or like sauteed veggies or something. I'll eat it once a day, and it usually is in the middle of the day because I know that that is better for my digestive system. So I'm not like trying to digest it late at night where my digestive system cuts off at a certain time and I'm not able to fully process that. But I like to eat a lot of raw things. So like I said, my fruit is pretty much free. I just go to the tree, get some fruit. I'll go, or for the day, I'll make a little trip around town, grab some fruit, and I'll eat fruit all day. I love fruit. But like I said, if I do cook, it will be once a day, and it will be in the middle of the day. But I'm going towards the raw eating because I know that that's how I will get the most energy. I know that that's what's going to electrify and energize my cells and keep me going. When I do eat that sauteed veggies, I feel a difference. I feel like more tired. I'm like more relaxed. I want to sit down. It's just like, I like to keep my energy high. I like to, like this morning, I haven't had anything but fruit. So nice and energized.
Yeah, but sometimes we like to enjoy and indulge in.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that that's a really fair way to do it. If you can eat raw most of the time and have one cooked meal a day, I think that's a really great way to do it. And as much as we can, moving towards the raws where the most healing occurs. And I think people that are probably 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 and up, we have more healing, more toxins in our bodies from 20, 30, 40 years of incorrect food choices and bad habits and behaviors, that we have to do a little bit more toxin removal before we're going to be able to get to that point. So raw food is the best way to remove. Fruits and veggies are the best way to remove. If we can go fully raw to help speed up the process, all well and good. But if you can't manage and you got to have one meal a day, hey, that's a super way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So like with to speed up my wife's process more with her weight loss, she wanted to lose all the weight. She would do like fasts, and like maybe 30 days she's going totally raw, or 30 days she'll do just only fruit. So it definitely helps up, like you say, to heal. If you're trying to heal, you do need to kind of like be baseline, all fruit, no cooked foods. Like you need to get to that point where, like you say, where you can enjoy a meal a day and be fine, and it's not hurting you. So yeah.
So it's very individual specific. Like, I mean, if you've got disease, then you need to take a more drastic hard line towards healing. So that's going to be, what are the most healing things that we can do? So emptiness and fruit. Or even just straight emptiness. Or a lot of people are even going even further with UT. Have you heard about that?
What is that?
UT.
UT. Haven't heard of that one.
No?
No.
Urine therapy.
I haven't heard of that one.
No, haven't heard of that.
No.
Yeah. So these are the things, like drastic measures for people that are ill, having disease or illness in their body. So they take a more drastic, hardline attack on that disease or illness. Not necessary for everyone, right? Not necessary for everyone to be fasting for 24 hours or 23 hours,
right.
But let's see if we can be empty for 14 or 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
I encourage people to strive for that 14 or 16 hours a day. Do you have any recommendations for fasting?
The only one I would really say, I've heard this thing about grapes, seeded grapes, of course, organic, being a very good a detox. So just eating grapes. They say it's a really great fruit to just cleanse and like.
Yes,
but in my opinion, I think any fruit organic can help cleanse you. So if you're eating fruit, I know some people say that maybe they can't eat an apple because there's too much sugar or certain things I've heard about people. But in my opinion, you're just so sick. Like you say, at that point, maybe you need to not eat anything. Maybe just drink some water and let those things flush, because these are things that come from earth. any fruit that comes from earth, if I pick it from the tree, I would say that that's good to go. Eat that all day, every day, whether you're sick, trying to heal, or just trying to prevent. Like, eat that all day. But then you have problems with like all these GMOs and all these things, or just illness within the body that can't even take in something good because it's so sick. So like you say, it just needs to be more of like flush yourself, drink some water, and let it flush out.
Yes, yes. The most hydrating fruits are the very best. So like you said, grapes, I believe, are right at the top. Melons, citrus, and berries. Those are our very best healing fruits. However, I really like what you're saying. If you're using organic fruit, you're not creating illness. You're definitely moving in the right direction. If you're eating live raw fruits, you're moving in the right direction. The very best fruits are the grapes, the melons, the citrus, the oranges, the grapefruits, and the berries. Those are the most healing. However, if you're choosing fruit, you're moving in the right direction.
Exactly.
So, talk to me a little bit about taking risk, Frankie Ray. Like, I see what you've done here is you moved away from Chicago at such a young age and moved to Atlanta. You guys took a big risk.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, once you know, like, it's hard to not know. So once I know that I need sunlight, I need fresh water, and these things are available, this is a choice. Like, everyone has a choice to come and just be here, even if you're homeless. Like, and I think that's the risk I was willing to take. I was willing to have nothing so I can have everything, because I knew that if I moved here and I have nowhere to live, or I had no money to eat, I know that the trees would bear fruit. I knew that the river would never dry up, and I can drink from that river. I bathe in that river. I can eat the fruit, like, and have nothing else to eat, and I will be fine. I will be energized. I will be probably more alive than have ever been. So like, I think like just knowing why you're doing something, and just staying true to that, and really trusting yourself and trusting the universe. Like, I knew that because I was doing the right thing and I was trying to be my highest self, that my universe wouldn't go against me. Like, so when we came here, like, we literally I didn't have anything set up to where I was gonna live, but I visited here and I talked to people. I made connections to the land and with these people, so I knew that something would come through, something would work for me. So I talked to a guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you can stay in this my bunker, which is in the jungle, and it's like you can't even drive to it." And I'm like, and we're like living there, and it was like the best. And then this guy's like, "Oh well, I don't live here anymore, so you can like rent out my house for $100 a month." And it's just like, perfect. And then people are coming to you like, "I'll give you land for very, very cheap," and then people are talking to us about how, yes, we bought land and we only have like $50 worth of taxes to pay. And I'm like, well, this is why I came here. This is great, and it's just like, you just have to trust yourself. You trust yourself, you trust your universe, you know that if anything happens, whether it's bad or good, everything's gonna work in your favor. Like, you just have to trust yourself and trust the universe.
Wow. At your age, that's amazing that you already know that and realize that. Like, did your parents bring you up that way?
I mean, not specifically with these words, but yes, like, they instill trust. I instilled trust in my parents. They trusted me. I was able to see
some faith in your life.
Yeah, like a lot of faith, just having faith, and like having trust in each other. And like, I lost my brother in Chicago to gun violence.
Wow.
So like that was a big thing for me, and like being able to like just let go and like trust that everything happened because it was supposed to happen, and like just knowing that, like, it was a big thing for me. Like, that was probably like one of the biggest realizations for me, is that like losing a really close person to me, and just but knowing that he would come to me in my dreams and like tell me that, like, like, I'm fine, like everything's good. And then like I read like this book on, like, it's called The Stroke of Insight, where this woman basically like almost dies to a stroke, and it's just understanding that energy doesn't die, which I've always known, because I would just have signs of like my brother, or like just being here simply, like I'm when my brother passed, they took his ashes and we put them in the water where we grew up in Seattle, and we tossed them in there. And just being here, like, I'm on the Pacific side of the ocean, so in that ocean is my brother, and this is where I came. Like, it's just like signs that tell you, you know, like, trust the universe. Like, no matter what happens, like, you have to find strength, and you have to find happiness in there. Like, I know that my brother is happy because I'm close to him. I know that I am him. You know, it's just like, it was just his way of making me grow up. I needed to grow up. I needed to learn. I needed to let go. I needed to trust, you know? And this is something me and my father, my mother, we all had to kind of like gain individually from that experience. But then together now we are so strong, you know? We understand, like, we understand life. Life is love. Love is understanding, you know, and trust.
Okay, so building on that a little bit further, then, were you raised with like an understanding of God? Were you raised with a religious background of any kind, or?
So religiously, I didn't have to go to church or anything, but there was always that thing, like, pray to God. Like, if you're dealing with something, pray to God, you know, and like, and I totally understood that, but there was always something telling me, like, I would go to like church with like my cousins who are like Catholic, and like I always just felt some type of disconnect. I guess maybe it just wasn't for me. Like, I didn't know there was so many different religions I understood, and it was just like, I don't really know what story I like. I don't really know what to believe in. And it was just like, as I got older, I realized that, like, this experience that I'm having is my experience. Like, I'm making all this happen. Like, all the moves that I've made, like, have been happened because of me. Like, I have a bunch of energies, yes, that are helping me become who I am, but this is all me. Like, we are God. We create our life. You know, we create what happens. Whatever happens to us, it is our responsibility to react. So however we react, like, that's us. We're doing these things to ourselves. You know, whatever lessons we come into, things that are right, things that are wrong, however we react is how we're like learning these lessons. Or so, I mean, not really religious, but I believe that however someone feels empowered, or however they're empowered, whether it's religiously or through, like, you know, just being connected to nature or believing in themselves, you know, like, whatever helps you, you know, along the way. What helps me is believing that I am the creator here. I am God, and that, you know, whatever I want to happen, I can make happen. There's nothing that, you know, the sky isn't the limit, you know.
I really like that. I think personally that's important, that, you know what, not to discourage anyone from their spirituality. I don't want to block anyone or be a block for anyone's spirituality, but I think that an understanding like you've shared there is that there's a power that's within us, and we direct it out with our thoughts, with our words, with our actions, with the things that we do, with our choices that we make, that we can create the life that we want, and that's within our power, and we can choose that, right? And we can choose that, right? And wonderful that you've made this realization and choice at such a young age, because I think, you know, I'm 46, and you know, I didn't wake up in my life till, you know, much later. Like, I didn't start even thinking about these things until 27, 28, 29, 30. And by that point, I was already deep in, you know, financial kind of expense, and a life and a wife and kids. And like, you're kind of already built a life around you. And now you've got to navigate and make choices. And now those choices influence all those around you. So wonderful on you that you've made such a wonderful realization in your life at such an early age, and you have your whole life in front of you, free to live down in Costa Rica without any of the financial strains and burdens that so many of us get caught in. Like, just a magical thing that you've done. Amazing. And I encourage people to, you know, look at this and listen to this story that is like really, truly amazing, and be inspired by it, and realize that, you know, there's a deep spirit here. There's a deep energy here that's within this young lady, and she realizes it already at her age, and she's following it. And, you know, we in our 40s and 50s need to take a lesson from this young spirit here and see that, you know, trust and follow that inner guide, and that health and wellness and well-being and power is all around us in our lives. The sun, the earth, the water, the food, the fruits, the emptiness. This is how we change our life. The spirit, the choice, the taking responsibility for where you want to go in your life, taking, you know, this is all a part of it. And even having some accountability. She had a friend that was pulling her forward, and she had to kind of chase after her. So the friend's kind of pulling her forward a bit. We need someone that's pulling us forward. We need that accountability. We need something that we love, that we're striving for to grow. I mean, all wonderful, wonderful, important lessons. So your parents, Frankie Ray, they live in Chicago still, or?
So my mom's in Chicago. My dad is in Seattle with where my other brother and sister and my nieces and my nephews are. But like, no matter the distance, like I'm pulling them along. Like you say, like age can really, like put a damper on people's minds and have them think like, oh, well, I'm still, I'm stuck in this, and this is just what I do. I've already been eating meat for this long. And it's just like, no, it's never too late to change your life. It's never too late to say, I'm leaving a system that does not serve me. It's never too late. Like, give it up. Happiness starts now. Heaven is here now. You get to heaven now in this lifetime. You don't wait till later when you don't know what's happening. This is heaven. So I've got my parents to make little health changes. My mom came down for a week, and she was like, I'm going vegan, this is just it. I'm done, I'm like, yes. And my sister changing, wanting to eat healthier, and then even my nieces and my nephews, because I post a lot online because I don't want to be so direct with everyone, telling them this is what you need to do. This is why you're sick. I don't want to be that person. I want to be of love. I want to show you that it's super easy. This is just what you do to love yourself. Just make these moves. If you love yourself, make the changes so your lifestyle is so much easier, so much more happy. So I've tried to do that, and it's helping. I would say a lot of people around me are picking up, and they're opening their eyes, and they're like, okay, you're right. This doesn't make sense. I'm full of parasites. You're right. Let me stop eating this stuff, and it's just yes.
Awesome. So that was a big one you touched on there, I think, is age, right? Yeah. And I find that a lot of people are stuck in that mentality that, my body hurts because I'm old, or my body's breaking down because I'm old, or my body's in pain because I'm old, or because my body's got arthritis because I'm old, or, back pain, or, tightness in the body, or sleep problems, or, this is what I've always eaten, so this is how I've always done it. This is how I've always interacted with my spirituality or my spirit world. So this is how I've always done it. So this is how I've got to stay doing it. Frankie Ray, we've got to make a change. We only going to get old if we allow ourselves to get old, right?
Exactly.
Age is not really so much the number as it is the toxicity that's building up inside of our body. And we can reverse it. We can take it back. We can take that age right back to 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if we just remove the 20 years of toxicity that we've got inside of our bodies, that's making our hair gray, that's making our body sore, that's creating the disease in our body, that's creating the arthritis and pains in our body. We can turn that around with all healthy, pure, natural things.
Exactly.
Amazing.
It's don't. And then you also have to, you learn something every day. You'll stop eating meat and dairy, and then you'll learn wow, there's a lot of chemicals and even animal products that are in your hygiene. You're putting you're washing your face and you're doing all these things. But that's another thing. We have to unprogram ourselves into like stop believing that we need like all this. We need shampoo, we need conditioner, we need lotion, we need all these things. And it's just like, we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. What you need is fresh water, some sunlight. If you want a little shine, get you some coconut oil, you know, and call it a day. Like, you know, we have to stop. We have to unprogram ourselves, you know.
Amazing. Unprogram, deprogram ourselves. That's it. We've been programmed to kind of stay away from all the things that make us most healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they tell us to stay out of the sun. They tell...
Lather up in sunscreen. No!
Yeah.
It's full of chemicals though. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Everything that we're told to be afraid of, everything that we're told is bad for us is actually the opposite.
Yeah. Like so many people are also like afraid of like, oh my God, you live next to the jungle, like monkeys and like what? Like snakes? Oh my God, be careful. And it's just like, honestly, like this is one of the most biodiverse places, like one of the most biodiverse places in the world. It's just like everything has enough to eat. Nothing's looking at me to eat, or like really it's like I'm going away from you. Like it wants nothing to do with you. Like you're totally safe in nature, and we don't realize that. You don't even realize like you're telling me to be safe in the jungle, but you're in like a toxic, very toxic city that's full of fumes, full of all these things. You're around all these energies that's trying to get here, and everyone's just worried about themselves. And it's just like, where are you going? You know, what's going on in your life, you know?
Wow. Unbelievable. Okay. So I think this brings it to a close. I think, Frankie Ray. I think we've covered all of our important topics.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you think you'd like to add?
No. I just want everybody to know that, you know, just reach for your highest self. You know, your journey may not be my journey. You know, maybe, you know, you want to go live in Asia. I don't know, you know, but be what you want to be. You know, be the best you that you can be. You know, reach
I
for
think that's a
ultimate
good one.
health. You know, pay attention to what you're consuming, whether it's through your mouth, through your skin. You know, pay attention to all the toxins that may be entering through your skin, through your being. You know, and really realize that happiness is really just a thought away. Like if you want to be happy, like make those moves, you know, make those moves and be happy. Like this is your world. You are God. Like do what you want to do. Make your creation, enjoy your creation, and be the best that you can be.
I really like what you said there about that this may not be everyone's path, but everyone needs to find their own path. So that's, you know, that's kind of foreshadowing that idea that you got to have your goals. You got to make your own decisions about what it is that you want to have in your life, what you want to create. You've got to make some decisions of your own. You've got to connect with that spirit energy that's within you. You've got to sit with that. You got to be quiet with that for a bit. And then you got to make a decision and make a choice and put it down and commit to it. Write it down. Make a commitment. What is it that you want to create? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to heal pain? Do you want to overcome disease? Do you want to improve your relationship? Do you want to make more money? Or do you want to live in a smaller life that doesn't cost as much money? Exactly. What changes do you need to make in order to create the outcome that you want in your life?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow, what a treat and a blessing to have time with you today, Frankie Ray. Thanks for making the time to talk with me. I hope that we'll keep in touch more now that we've had a chance to speak, and I'll hopefully get to speak with you again online.
It will be great. I appreciate you.
Maybe I'm going to be coming down to visit you and your wife.
Yes, please.
Maybe I'm coming down to visit you and your wife and stay in the jungle for a little bit and take in some sunlight.
I think you should. I think everybody should come visit. We would love it.
That's wonderful. Okay. Thanks so much, Frankie Ray.
Thank you.
Bye.